Life golden, yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, 'cause we're golden.
Hey guys, Todd Sullivan with MVP Strength Camp. Today I'm going to be going over some key points on the squat, what to do, and what to look for if you're having difficulty getting down into that bottom position and or reaching full extension of the hip at the top. Okay, so let's go right to basics. Keep this very simple. My feet are going to be in line about hip or shoulder width apart, depending on your body type, okay? My toes, I'm going to make sure that they're even. I don't have one hip, say, forward, one foot back. Good way to do that if you're struggling with it is to put a piece of tape on the ground. As you can see, I've got a white line here in front of me. You can do something like that. But for video purposes, I'm going to come back. I'm comfortable with where my toes are. I'm going to initiate my squat right back here. I start standing up fully right, okay? Now I've got to make sure I've got my core engaged, okay? So I've got my abs turned on about 25%. I've got my glutes activated, and I've got my upper back muscles engaged, okay? So if you know where your scapula is, okay, or your shoulder blades, I'm going to take and pretend almost as if you have an object, say a tennis ball, in between those. We're going to really open up that chest, okay? Activate those upper postural muscles. Now that I'm into this position, I'm going to keep my chest up. I'm ready to go down and perform the squat. I'm going to set my hips back a little bit, okay? And I'm going to squat down with my core activated. I'm going to do my best to keep a vertical shin. Hit the bottom, hip joint below the knee joint. Stand up, full extension at the top. Again, at the top, I'm going to make sure that my abs are active and my glutes are active, okay? So one more time. The weight is in the back of my heels and kind of the outer edge of my foot. That way I'm maintaining my arch in my foot, okay, so that my squat doesn't crumble. Again, I'm down, hip crease below the knee, and I'm back up. Okay, common things that go wrong here, all right? If you find that when you're squatting, you're struggling to get into that bottom position, could be a number of different things. The most common thing that I see is usually ankles, okay, postural, and hips. So let's start with the ankles, okay? We're squatting down. If you find that you're going to get to the bottom of the squat and you hit this sticky point and you just can't get your hips down there, and as you're going down, your weight shifting forward on the balls of your feet and your heels are lifting like that, chances are you've got some tight ankles, okay? Mobility issues in the ankles. We'll address that in just a minute here. So that's number one. The next thing is posture. Again, when I started explaining the squat, I talked about that. If we have bad posture and we're starting here, I mean, by no means do we want to go and add a load to our spine and then try to go down, okay? This just isn't going to happen for us for a number of different reasons. So that's number two. Let's look at the posture, okay? Number three is the hip placement, all right? So I talked about vertical shin. What do you mean vertical shin, right? So, all right, think about that. Vertical shin, very simple. I'm squatting down. My hips are back. My weight is in my heels, okay? My weight does not shift forward to the ball of my foot. I keep my knee over my ankle, and here's this vertical shin. Okay, so if I don't have that vertical shin, my hips are too far forward, okay? And I'm kind of lumbar dominant, abs are turned off here, squat down, heels are gonna lift, gonna load the knees, load the ankles, not good. All right, the next piece is I squat down, I've got tight hips, and my knees are caving in. Let's do this from a front view, right? Squatting down, knees cave in, okay? 9 times out of 10, from what I see in my people, is it starts at the foot. The foot is like the foundation, and that's a fallen arch, okay? So when the arch collapses and falls in, if you look at my leg here, that arch falls in and flattens out. Notice the knee travels in. So when the arches collapse, everything upstream is going to become dysfunctional. The ankle, the knee, the hip, and even can cause some lower back disruption, okay? So let's go over a couple things, very basic, we can do for that ankle, right? We're going to get down onto the ground. I'm gonna put my laces of my shoes on the ground. Heels together. Sit right down on those heels. Let that settle in. Be careful, you may get a cramp here if you're really tight, so you want to ease into it. Don't go in too aggressive. And then we're just gonna lean back like that. All right, that's the first one. Second one, even more simple, okay? Feet together, point the toes. Okay, so we're going plantar flexion, dorsiflexion here, all right? We can come over, very basic calf stretch. Okay, you can do the wall stretch, calf stretch, which will look something like this. Heel is on the ground, knee is straight, this foot forward. Nice little stretch there. Come out of it, breath of air. Back in, okay? So let's play around with those and I'll address the hip in another video. All right? Thanks for watching. Talk soon.